Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Factorization. We're just getting started. Last episode we built an initial kind of ironworks factory. All these machines we've got in place, I should mention, we can upgrade as we go, and we'll do that. But let's get into copper production while we're waiting for our workers to kind of build out the rest of our factory. Let's take a look. I can unpause. And let's take a look at the planner here. Actually, let's not do that. Let's go into the research. This is kind of a nice view. So we're in tier 2. We've got a few things. We've got copper ingots, copper sheets, copper wire, and then eventually we've got this rotor here. We haven't unlocked that yet. I'm going to wait. It's $10,000 to unlock that. We'll hold off. So we want to produce these things. Now, from my first playthrough, I kind of have a strong feeling that I want to get copper wire production going, and I want to sell a lot of copper wire because it produces fairly fast and it's worth a lot of money. If we go into the trade window, we looked at some of the iron stuff. We saw that if we want to sell iron frames, which our factory is set up to make now, we'll get $72,100 out of that for each 100 that we sell. Sounds great. These iron frames take forever to build. So as we'll see, once our iron factory is done being built out, it takes forever to do that, to get 100 iron frames created, at least early on. Now let's look at copper. If we go to copper wire and I sell 100 of those, look at this, $97,700. And copper wire is like a one-stage thing. Let's look at the research for that. Here's copper wire. All we got to do is send in ingots and we get copper wire. So this we can produce fairly quickly. So let's set up a little cash generating operation here because we're going to need it. And we may actually have to take loans to build this out. We'll see. Our factory, meanwhile, is still getting built. I could drop more workers down and speed things up, or I could upgrade the workers, and we'll probably do that later. But I'm just going to let things go the way they're doing. Let's get a couple of copper storage containers that we can where we can purchase copper. We'll go into trade. We'll go into copper ore, and we want to buy copper ore. It's not cheap. $15,000 per load. Man, that's not cheap. I'm going to slide it over here to the left to make more, make a little more use of this room that we've got over here. Let's start with just one of these. Boom. I'm going to copy a couple of these smelters. Just center click on those. And how do we want to do this? How tight do we want this to be? I'm going to give myself a little room. 1, 2, and then we're going to immediately turn those. We're going to send ore in, turn it into ingots, and then immediately turn those ingots into copper wire. So let's do that. And then we want to do a couple things. We want to have a bus that goes back to our building materials storage bin over here because we're going to need copper wire to do our upgrades and to build the tier 2 machines. So let's plan for a bus that goes back to that main storage container up there. I can see I've got one that I didn't want to place. Hit the delete key. Is that going to let us get rid of that? Delete. Not this time, apparently. I don't see a decommission there. Well, we'll see what happens. So there's that. Let's connect their smelters up to our little wire guys. They're going to make wire for us. And then we need to do a splitter off of this. That's our supply of copper ore. Boom. Send the copper ore in that way. And then down here. Our workers will build that out. Meanwhile, we should be making frames. There's one that's going into storage right now. Let's turn off the, or let's pause the belt that's sending frames into storage. And we'll try to get 100 in here that we can sell. It's going to take a while. We've got 2 in here now. Let's set recipes on these guys. Set recipe, we want copper ingots. Copper ingots. We know these are going to be copper wire. Copper wire. And then we're going to send, are we going to send all this up? I think we probably are. We can leave, we can do a splitter just in case. How do we want to do that? Splitter, just trying to think here. Yeah, let's put a splitter here. Belt there, and then run this belt from this lower constructor building. Going to be kicking out wire. We'll send up, join up with this same belt, and then we'll have the splitter here that sends this up onto the bus. Boom, up it goes. And now we want to set up sales for this material too. Let's can I get rid of that belt. Eventually we'll be able to get rid of that belt. It may be queued up for them to do it already. We'll see. Our workers are doing their things. There's some iron frames queuing up on this belt. Once that backs up, everything will go in towards the sales. We're down to 29,800. Again, we're chewing up power, you can see. And our workers are, we got to pay them every time they move around. We're paying them. So let's see. What do we want to do here? What I'm thinking is I want to set up a ability to sell this copper wire that's going to come out of our factory here. And I'm wondering if we can branch off of the bus and have a few different sales things here. Let's try it. Let's try it. Cab, trade, copper wire. Sell copper wire for 100. 100 of these is going to get us almost $100,000. I'm going to click sell to get my little container. And let's see if we can filter on this. Oh, I wonder if I could even make this more efficient. And let's just do it like that. That's our sales container. Now we need a way to get copper wire in here. So we're going to need a splitter here. So I got to decommission this belt. Let our workers do their thing. We'll upgrade the workers. They can go up to, I think, level 5. Okay, they just decommissioned that belt. That's good. But I'm going to save cash and save up some cash before we upgrade our workers or get more workers. Okay, now I can put my splitter in here. Boom. And let's see. We've got outputs on the left is 1, top is 2, and then the right is 3. I'm going to configure this splitter to say limit output 3 to copper wire. Boom. And let's get the belt there. Boom. We finally have a machine working here. So we should start seeing copper wire hit the belt. There it goes. I'm curious to see what's going to happen up here. If it is going to actually merge these two or not. Limit output 1. I'm going to set this to overflow. Oops. I'm going to set... Okay, let's watch this thing go. Okay, one went up and one went off to the right to be sold. We do want to save up copper wire for building materials, but the first thing we want to do is get a batch of copper wire sold. So I'm going to modify my splitter. I'm going to limit output 2, which is the one that's going up towards our building supply. I'm going to say only send the overflow. Like, you can't send it anywhere else, so then go ahead and send the products up top. That should send all our copper wire off to our sales container. And we just saw that it did. That's all good. All right, so now we're racking up copper wire in our selling container. We did get a message. Did it? Yeah, we're out of copper here. Let's see. Refill copper for 15,600. We're gonna do it. Let's do it. Boom. And we can set this to auto purchase, continuously buy. And so we're trying to get 100 copper into this storage unit here, and it will automatically sell. And when it does, we will get, see what that was again, copper wire. We're going to get almost 100 grand. I'm trying to get by without taking a loan, but we're probably going to have to take a loan because I think we're going to run out of cash here before we're able to sell anything. Now, we are collecting iron frames, but look how slow it is. We've only got 14 iron frames so far. What I think I'm going to do, we are going to have to take a loan. I'm almost certain of it. I'm going to filter our splitter. Remember output 2, I had it set to overflow. I'm going to just let it send everything. And that should split now. We should start getting some copper wire in this storage. If I hover over it, you can see we've got 3 in there now. And I'm doing that so I can upgrade these machines down here that are producing copper wire. Let's see how things look. This guy's got 7, whoops, let me just mouse over it, 14 copper ore in his storage. So we could speed him up and he could smelt faster. This guy's got 9 copper ingots. We could speed him up and we'd get more wire. Let's upgrade this guy first. Okay, we got a message. Are we out of... Yeah, we're out of copper again. Oh, man. And we don't have the money to replenish that unless we take a loan. Let's upgrade this to Constructor Mark II. I think it's just going to take copper wire and maybe some other construction materials we have. So I'm going to set that for upgrade. Our workers will bring some supplies down. And we'll just upgrade one of these lines at a time so we're constantly producing wire. Keep an eye on our cash here. Once it gets down to like 3,000, we'll probably have to take the loan. Maybe we'll get lucky. I doubt it. We've only got 31. Maybe we'll get lucky and get to 100 before we need to take a loan. But I think we're probably going to need to take a loan. All right. That constructor has been upgraded. Now let's... Oh, yeah. He's got 1 copper ore. We're going to have to... we're going to have to take a loan. Let's do it. We need to buy more copper. We just... Ore. So let's do it. Let's go into my factory. And let's take a loan of... Just going to drag this little slider. Let's see if we can get by on 40 grand. See how far that gets us. Now we're immediately... Our expenses are going to go up because we're going to have to start paying off this loan. But let's go ahead and take it. Boom. That'll give us some cash. This thing should auto refill. Okay, it just did. We got more copper ore brought in. We've got 12 copper wire in storage. Let's use it to upgrade things. And let's upgrade our smelter here. Boom. Workers should do their thing. Then we'll upgrade this bottom line too. And then we may even set up a parallel line here just to process copper into wire and sell it. We're gonna need cash. And then we'll upgrade this whole line too with some of the copper wire that we're saving off. And hopefully we can get iron frames going a little bit faster because they're pretty darn slow right now. Okay, that's upgraded. Let's see. Let's upgrade this one. Down here on the copper mine, working on that. We're up to 43 in storage. Once that gets to 100, we'll get 100 grand. Okay, our smelter was upgraded. Let's upgrade the last one here. That's producing the wire, and hopefully we'll see some stuff come out of here a little faster. Again, we're going to buy more copper. That's going to chew up 15 grand of our balance here in a hurry. Let our workers do their thing. Now, if these belts ever back up, we could kind of branch off and sell the overflow of, say, these screws. But right now, they're not even keeping up. So I don't see anything backing up, really. All right, we just bought more copper. We're down to 11,570. We've only got 50 copper wire in storage. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the... no, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. We'll take another loan if we need to. We're probably going to need to also. I wonder if we should set up a parallel production line here. Take a loan and do it. If we look at our overview, I click up here in the top right, my factory, you can see our loan balance is 39,839. Seems like that should be lower. Didn't we take 40,000 out? Yeah, it shows what our factory is worth. Let's let it go. I can't really speed up the game. All we can do is kind of upgrade. Just debating what I want to do here. Do I want to duplicate this copper wire production over here? Just do another one in parallel. We got 60. I've got 23 copper wire for building. I want to go ahead and turn off our splitter for 2. To say just overflow. And that'll send all the copper wire will be queued up to sell. Boy, we're already out of copper ore. That should have all gone here. Two should be just overflow. Let's see what happens if all this copper wire makes it in or if it actually comes up that way. Okay, that's better. 71, 75 here. Yep. Boy, we're getting close to running out of cash just for energy, and we're out of ore. Let's see. Do we have anything cashed up here? Not much. We're going to have to take another loan. Let's do it. This time, let's go for 100 grand. Going to bring our total loan up to like 137,000. Boom. Our copper supply should automatically replenish now that it sees we have cash. Keep an eye on that. There it goes. Just refilled. And then we're on the verge of getting 100 grand. We've got 81 copper. We need 19 more copper wire. And then that will auto sell. Down here by the frames, going slow. We've only got 32 iron frames. We've got 27 copper wire in storage. Why don't we upgrade some of what's going on here in our iron production line and see if we can't speed this up. Let's work from the back and see what the holdup is. Now, this guy's got tons of screws, 180 screws, 40 iron plates, 21 rods. This machine itself probably needs to be upgraded. So let's do that. Boom. Interesting, a copper wire made it up there. Kind of surprised. Upgrade this manufacturer. That should speed up the frames. Again, let's see. If I mouse over, we can see. Got plenty of plates. Rod production. Maybe the rods are a little slower. The rods are down here. Let's do some upgrades on that. It's at 100% efficiency, but it doesn't have any iron ingots in storage. Looks like we may need more iron ore coming in. This thing's not backed up. The one smelting the ingots. How we doing? We're on the verge here. Okay, we're about to sell off our first batch of copper wire. That's going to help our balance huge. You can see in the top left here, you get 60 grand. Once this copper wire makes it in, it's going to auto sell. Boom. Now we've got 157. If you look at our expenses right there, I think that top, I'm colorblind, so I can't tell what these colors match up to, but I think that's our loan up here, this top bar. And then our electricity is kind of this wiggly one. See how it kind of varies. Here's electricity just pulled out on its own. And then this here's electricity as in our expenses. And you can see our factory is slowly climbing up in value. It means we can borrow more money. And then we've got a loan here of about $134,000. We still have a lot of room to build. All right. Let's zoom in and move over. Let's see what's next. We just upgraded our manufacturer to level 2. It's still kind of slow. Okay, now we can see the iron rods have been exhausted. So let's upgrade the iron rods and even the iron plate production. Let's do it. We're going to need more ore coming in. So let's give this line its own supply of ore. And that means we'll disconnect this bottom part, decommission that, decommission that. Let's go bring in iron ore and set up a dedicated thing. We could do the 1,000. That would be, we'll stick with 100 for now. Drop that down. Now this guy gets his own iron. We can do maybe the same thing up top here. Let's do that. We've got room. I'm going to decommission these 2 belts. Whoops, you and you. Decommission. And then I'm going to copy this with the center mouse click. Escape. Select it. Center click it. Boom. And I think it's okay to have those splitters there. I don't think they slow anything down. Let's set these to continuously by the new ones we just put down. We've got 63 copper wire in building storage here. Oh, what's going on? We've got copper wire kind of stuck here. Oh, is this set to auto sell? Let's set it to continuously sell. That should start filling up again. Why are you not filling up? Copper wire. Okay, there's something going on here. Continuously sell. Not sure why this one's not filling up. Should be. Resell. Okay, now it's starting to fill up. Got a bunch of copper wire for building, so we can upgrade these guys. Let's do it. Upgrade. In fact, we'll do all these right now. Upgrade. These are all our smelters. Upgrade. This, I think, just takes copper wire, maybe a few other things. If you look at our building supplies, we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Got a bunch of screws in inventory here. And our manufacturer is doing good on screws. Again, needs more rods and then maybe plates. Let's focus on rods first. Here's our rod constructor. Let's update that guy. We're at 100 grand balance. Just about. And we're just upgrading our iron line here. And trying to get iron frames producing faster. Okay, it looks like we just got our Mark II upgrades done for the rods. So hopefully we'll see more of these kick out. And I think the only thing that's, we've got a constructor here for screws. How's this guy doing? Got plenty of screws. Let's upgrade this one too while we're at it. These are all Mark IIs. We got a Mark 1 down here. Let's upgrade this one too. We might end up selling screws. I'm not sure how much this machine can store. You can see it contains 298 screws already. That's a lot. I thought it would only hold 100 of each ingredient, but this manufacturer holds a ton, or at least the level 2 does. And let's upgrade our plate, our iron plate machine here. What are we doing on building materials? We still have 50 copper wire in storage. We've got $71,000 balance. And we've got 53 copper wire in our sales bin here, just waiting. Again, iron frames, super slow. 47 iron frames waiting. Okay, it looks like 300 screws is the max that the Mark II machine will store. So now we've got this surplus of screws sitting here. I'm wondering if we can sell those. We could almost dump them onto this bus below and then pull just those out and sell them. Should we try that? Or are we going to congest this belt? We could always pause that line if we didn't want to do it. Thinking about it. How would we want to do that? Make use of the space. Now, screws, we're not going to get a lot of money for. Let's just take a look and see what we get when we sell screws. Iron screws, but we get something. 1,400. That's really low. That's not much. But it seems silly to have just a belt sitting here and not cashing out. Do we want to sell these screws? Oh man, now that's going up. 368 iron screws. If I were to sell them, it would have to be overflow, right? I'd have to set up a splitter, set one of the branches to be just send the overflow. I don't want to starve out this machine. Man, this thing's holding a ton. I was kind of hoping they would only hold 100. Iron rods we've upgraded, right? This is Mark II, and iron rods seem to be the thing that this guy is missing. Our manufacturer making the iron frames. We could, no, I don't, well, was going to say we could change this to being rods, but this machine still needs screws. Looks like we're about to sell a batch of copper just in time. We're down to 22,000. This next big wave of copper wire should trigger a sale. Man, look at that. 411 screws. I don't know how much this manufacturer stores. It seems huge. Is there anything I can configure? For the recipe, a lot of workers. Just, yeah, nothing really to configure on that. Downgrade? No, I don't want to do that. That'll slow it down. All right, cash seems to be okay. Let's move on to making some stuff. I think we're okay here. I'm tempted to do another one. Since this is kind of a cash cow. We might have to upgrade these belts too. Let's do another one, and let's use the cut and paste feature now. We can select an area, shift. I think we can do this. Okay, right click. Nope, I don't want to do that. Let me select this again. Boom. Clone selection is the middle click, so I can clone that whole setup. Looks like it didn't bring over the storage container. Let's do it. Let's duplicate this. I'm going to move it over a bit. I think that's lined up. And then this one, let's see if they'll let me copy it now. Yeah. Boom. Continuous buy. This is copper coming in. We got to let our workers do their thing. And let's extend our bus. Just doubling up the copper wire production. Just for cash. Just so we have good cash production coming in. We still have a loan. A pretty big one, I think. $80,000. So this runs pretty seamless once it's in place. So we'll get that going. Get that upgraded. We may have to upgrade this belt too. I think these all inherit the recipes. Yeah, copper ingots, copper wire. We can, maybe I'm going to pause. Let's upgrade these workers to be a little faster. 2,500 to get him to the next level. And do we want to go one more level? 4,000. Not yet. Not yet. I'd love to get to where we're not taking out more loans. So we'll let these guys do their thing, and then let's move down. Got more room to build. And let's see what we want to build. Let's get to trying to do more of the tier 2 stuff. We're selling copper wire. Now let's get into seeing if we can make these rotors. We need wire, sheets, iron screws, iron frames. And if I go into the planner, and I pick rotors, where are you? Oh, we haven't unlocked them yet. Let's do it. Tab, research, tier 2, unlock, 10,000. Boom. Okay, we unlocked rotors. That opened up tier 3. Let's see what we got in tier 3. Steel. Interesting. We're going to have to bring in coal for that. Make steel ingots. We got steel, bearings, beams, a linear motor, all kinds of stuff. Eventually, we're going to see rockets. That's what the main goal of the game is. 100 rockets. Tell you what, let's wrap this episode here. We're doing okay. We're generating cash better than ever before. And we're about to double up on that. And so hopefully once this new copper line is up and running, copper wire line, we will not need to take any loans. And then eventually we'll rip this out. this copper line that we're selling, it's generating cash, and we'll probably replace it with something that's even more valuable. Maybe the steel or something. We've got this iron frame line. It's almost useless, right? We have not even sold any iron frames yet. We'll get a lot of money once we do, but man, it is just slow to produce. You can see the progress bar on the manufacturer. Maybe when we get the next upgrade, this will make a little bit more sense, but man, is it slow right now. And it looks like iron rods are our issue. We could try to weave in more iron rod production in here. I thought screws were the holdup. That's why I did that. Turns out they're not the holdup. At least not in this playthrough. But yeah, it looks like maybe this inventory is going to freeze up at 500. Let's see if it goes and stores more than 500 iron screws. Looks like the screw line is backing up at 500. So we've got an option. We could maybe sell these screws. We saw we don't get much money for them. But yeah, next episode, let's get to, we'll bring up the planner and we'll work on these rotors here. Ooh, our cash is low. We're just about ready to sell. We got 91. We got to take a loan. I got to pause. Okay, I've actually got to take a loan or we're going to get in trouble here. Let's do that before we sign off. I am going to take a little bit of a loan. I'm going to take 20 grand. 22 is fine. Loan. And then we'll leave it here. I will see you all in the next episode.